If you're watching this video after a rough weekend of not being able to get your high-end streaks or anywhere near a nuke, this video is for you. Whether you're a longtime player or new to the series, welcome in. We are going to be talking about something that either is going to motivate a longtime player or inform a new player, and hopefully motivate them as well. But sometimes we just forget the smart way to play. We get into some bad habits, especially if you're like me, if you do like a long camo grind or something, you kind of get a little lazy. You kind of play a little bit on autopilot. So today I'm breaking you out of autopilot. When it comes to going on long streaks, there are two main factors that have helped me immensely in my Call of Duty career. One is the horseshoe method, and the other is just the correct loadout. Let's get the loadout over with first because it is the simplest part of this video. Let's flash this guy up on screen here. This is the class I want you to use if you want to go on longer streaks. I have a couple different variations we'll show, but 4 blue perks is something that every time I'm in game chat and people see my kill cam and they go, oh, wait, this guy's running 4 blue perks. It's weird to people. Most people don't do it. The most common full color combination I see are the red perks, which are great, but they don't make you resilient to the things in this game that knock you off of streaks. Ghost is going to keep you off the minimap. Vigilance is going to keep you from getting counter UAV'd, which is very common because there's a ton of UAV counter UAV spam. So those perks are self-explanatory. And then Cold-Blooded blocks everything, whether it's a drone pod or a skewer or an attack helicopter or a dog or HKDs or a Legion even. This is going to completely hard counter all of those. And the last one, I guess, could be up to you, but I opt for Ninja because I can tell when somebody's using a headset and I died because I wasn't using Ninja. So if I'm going on long streaks, I don't want to worry about being seen by a UAV, blocked by a CUAV, killed by a skewer, or have my footsteps heard and have somebody already be pre-aiming me. This also gets you the recon bonus, which allows you to tell when somebody's aiming at you from a distance, which is very helpful for going on long streaks. Basically, if somebody's looking at you from a distance, go ahead, immediately pop a slide or a prone, jump behind a wall. Change your position immediately when the sides of your screen start glowing yellow. It'll also show you when you respawn the nearest enemy to you, which means after a death. Don't be too discouraged, you get intel when you respawn. This was much more powerful in Black Ops 6, but is still very good here. So when you respawn, when using 3 blue perks to get the recon specialty, make sure you check your minimap on respawn. And then, one of the things that nobody's talking about is it doesn't drop the death skull. When you kill somebody in this game, it puts a skull above them so their teammates know they died there. And a lot of people don't actively recognize the skull, but they passively, subconsciously know that that means death is in that area. So put 2 and 2 together here. If you have a suppressed rifle and you have all of these perks on and the recon specialty active, they won't see you or hear you or even know you were there after a kill. This is what I call a naked eye class, meaning the only thing that can see you is somebody's naked eye or controlled score streak, and even the controlled score streaks aren't going to highlight you. They will have no help, no intel, as well as you'll also counter their scramblers, which is just also, you know, chef's kiss. Here's another variant of the class with a Maverick, and another variant of the class with the Rev 46. See how nothing's really changing here? I am a slave to this combination when it comes to staying alive long in this game. I might not hop on any objectives because I don't have Tech Mask or Flak Jacket, but if you're a little bit tired of the 4 blue perks, there's also this variation, which is Ninja, Scavenger, Cold-Blooded, Tracker. This is to be a little bit more aggressive. This might be a little bit better for a small map where you just want to keep your momentum, and then tactical insertions to control your spawn point. Especially in non-objective game modes, it's really great to get into somebody's spawn and try to flip them out and then, you know, have a tack insert in your original spawn so you can spawn behind them on a death. It lets you be really aggressive and then put you in an advantageous position to go on your streak next life. Basically, use a quality gun with suppressor and make sure you have the cleanse option on your stim shot. That basically gives you tech mask because you can unflash yourself, un-EMP yourself, un-fear gas yourself. You can remove status effects from your character just by using it, which is why you also want to combine it with that fast charging assault pack, because the fast charging assault pack is going to allow you to just keep your stim shots flowing, so when you use one, you're not just kind of screwed out of one for the rest of the game. Again, we're using these classes under the assumption we're not going to die. All right, so that's the class part. What is the horseshoe technique? The horseshoe technique is that you have to look over the map and picture a horseshoe. Here's the tac map for Meltdown, and we want to make this sort of formation. We want to keep going back and forth, and we want to backtrack. And the reason we backtrack to stay alive is that if you just make a circle or keep going forward, forward means you're going to be heading towards more enemies, and that is going to increase your chances of getting overwhelmed or ganked. You don't want to get third-partied if you're going on a long streak. Again, the goal is to stay alive, to get the Ruthless medal, to get the Harp called in, to get the Legion called in, to get the nuke. So we do not want to maximize our risk, we want to minimize it. But after you get a kill, if you're just pushing forward, obviously you find more enemies, that's self-explanatory, but why not just make a circle? Why not make a nice cohesive circle instead of a horseshoe? Backtracking is something that some people tell you to never do. There's a reason you want to do it. After you kill me in Call of Duty, I can see which direction your character is facing and moving after you kill me. My screen doesn't go black upon my death. I watch my character fall and I see your character starting to move in a direction, and I can kind of predict where you're headed. The maps in this game are pretty predictable. If you kill me mid-map on Meltdown and I see you running towards the cooling tower as my body falls, I'm gonna assume you're gonna be in the cooling tower or running out of the cooling tower or waiting for me in the cooling tower. What I'm not gonna anticipate you doing is going back the way you came when you killed me. I'm not gonna anticipate you running back towards your spawn and then looping all the way back around through the cooling tower. Now, you have to also think about the reinforcements aspect of this. As you're getting kills and looping back around the long way and taking that path less traveled and being less predictable, your teammates are killing and dying and respawning in waves and coming back from your spawn. So when you go back towards your spawn, you'll have teammates around you. And teammates around you, again, minimizes the chances you get overwhelmed. Teammates are good intel. Teammates shooting at somebody, teammates dying. Teammates being around you is good intel and increases your survivability. Retreat and then move up with your team, retreat and then move up with your team is basically what the horseshoe method naturally causes to happen. Outside of things that organically naturally happen, you do want to just also look at your minimap. If you see teammates approaching your location, maybe wait for them before you stick your head out, wait for them before you do more of a gutsy push, a further push, a spawn rush. I wouldn't rely on your teammates. That'll end in endless frustration, but they will just be passive bits of intel if you keep your eyes on the kill feed and the minimap. If you get a kill and then do the horseshoe pattern back to your spawn and then move forward with a teammate, and then you kind of separate from them, and then you hear a sniper rifle go off and your teammate hits the ground, and you see in the kill feed your teammate was killed by a sniper rifle, you kind of know not to go where he just went because somebody's pre-aiming it with a sniper. But this is where game sense comes in. If you're fighting somebody on the enemy team that's more of an aggressive sniper and your teammate just died to him, you might assume that that sniper is pushing in more and more to try to get in on your territory. Then it might be advantageous to pre-aim where your teammate died at. I can't account for every variable in this video, but hopefully see what I'm saying. By rotating backwards and coming around the other side of the map, you leave the people you're killing guessing, you're utilizing your teammate's push, and with a class that makes you invisible to the multitudes of things that auto-kill you and spot you and distract you, while not making a single sound, you're gonna find yourself dying less and less. Will it always be perfect? No. Some enemy teams are just better, some of your teammates are gonna be so much worse that this won't even be possible. You might have to actually hold the line, you might actually have to take an objective. It's not always the most viable option to preserve your life to such a degree that you let your teammates die and the objective go to hell and the game fall apart. So when do you do this? In my opinion, you should always feel out the beginning of a match. Push the enemy team and test their grit. Test to see how aggressive they are. Test to see how accurate they are. If in your first gunfight you go up against all 5 of them as they're pushing the B flag and they're sliding around and jump shotting and they're using meta weapons or they have rank skins, maybe it's not the match to do the horseshoe tactic. You might have to lock in if you actually want the win. Plant your feet somewhere, strategic positioning, but that's not what this video is about. This video is not about winning every game. This video is about going on long streaks, and I'm gonna tell you the hard truth right now. Not every match you go into is gonna be the kind of match where you can get a long streak. But even when you're not going for a long streak, keeping this type of class on or using some of these tactics is going to help you. You can use some of these tactics without dedicating your entire match playstyle to it. In fact, this is really good for securing a flag. Doing a tight small horseshoe around a flag is really smart. Also, doing this in free-for-all with a little bit, again, more of a narrow horseshoe pattern around a specific area is really good for keeping your enemies guessing so they don't just overwhelm you after they kind of catch on to your shenanigans. The hardest part of this tactic is not using it, it's knowing when not to use it. And that unfortunately cannot come from a YouTube video. I can give you some examples, like I already did, but it's gonna come with playtime and experience. So hopefully, your next long play session, your next weekend, the next double XP weekend, the next season, whenever you hop on again, I hope you give this a try. I hope you give this class a try. I'll throw it up on screen here again. Copy this down, and let me know if you have any greater success. It would help me out a lot if after you guys watch this video, you go try this and then come back and let me know how you think. It increases my views, which is wonderful, but I also want to know if my feedback's actually helping you guys or if it's just stuff that helps my niche brain and no one else is really benefiting. So don't be afraid to come back and say, boom, I tried it, you're a liar, this sucks, my wife divorced me because I'm so bad at COD now. I mean, be a little afraid if you have to say that, but yeah, no. I mean, I need to hear it. I need the feedback. Either way, I'll see you when I see you guys, and have a good one.